Okay, we'll start with Nathan Johns down the front here.
Hi, Garry. Just quickly, how's Harry's hand? And given what happened with the surface, were you at all concerned for player safety, given what happened to Harry?
I think his hand is okay at the minute on initial inspection, but we'll probably have to wait until a bit later on the season to get a really good read on that. I wouldn't say we were concerned about player safety, to be honest. It was obviously a tricky wicket, but I think there was a few close misses, but I think that's all they were, really.
What's that like in the dugout when you're seeing the ball move 3 feet sideways nearly every other ball, or rearing up, and it's doing it into the 10th over or so? And what conversations are you having with the batters about trying to be adaptable?
Yeah, it's hard. It is, because it's obviously, firstly, a difficult wicket, and secondly, against very highly skillful bowlers. I spoke with Sterlo after about 3 or 4 overs, and the main message was that if we can get anywhere sort of competitive, then we would be in with a chance because of the movement. And we know that our bowlers can extract movement whenever it's there. So it was about, even if a worst case scenario we were to lose a few more wickets, it was about not having the mindset of we're playing against India and we have to go and get 180, 190. It's not that type of pitch. It was more, can we get it to a competitive score? And unfortunately, we were probably just a little bit short of that. I wouldn't say we were miles short, but yeah, just not to be today.
I mean, given that messaging, how do you rate the shot selection? I mean, I think 3 players got out playing cross-pat shots on a wicket like that. Is that a little bit ambitious, or just par for the course given the surface?
I see where you're going with it, but it's still a game of T20 cricket where I think it's more the build-up to those shots is more important. I think going into the next game, it'll be about trying to be about as efficient as possible. If we get bad balls, trying to put them away. You have to marry up the type of player that you're talking about playing those shots as well, and what is his best chance of getting runs on any given day, on any given surface. So, look, we are going to go away, assess, and have a think about how we're going to put that competitive score against Canada on Friday. I think, as the Indian coach there just alluded to, the toss is quite big. We definitely got the rough end of that today, but that's cricket, and you can't do anything about that. So it is about coming up with a way of getting a competitive score that we can defend on Friday.
Are there any questions about the Canadian game? Anyone raise your hand, please?
But yeah.
Just not. That's it. Thank you.
Do you want to?
Yeah, just what do you think that does? Because there's a logic that the poor pitch equalises any gap between the two sides. Maybe that might not have been the case today, but how do you see that, given it's the same venue against a side like Canada?
I think it brings all teams closer together. Like, to be honest, whether per or not per, I think the gap will be closer in any game of cricket on that surface, if I'm being honest. But I still think the more times you play against a team that you're not as good as, if you 10 times, you might win a couple more than you normally would, but the better team will still come out on top more often than not. So I think we've got to go in with that attitude on Friday.
The last question, James from The Cricketer.
Hi. Presumably the toss just becomes even more crucial on situations like this, because if you get a chance to run through a side, you're way ahead of the game, aren't you?
I think it would have been interesting had we won the toss there today. We were probably a little bit off with our lengths as well with the ball. I mean, but it was going to be very difficult to defend 96. I think very rarely do you see a team get rolled and then the next innings is also very low. It often is, if a team gets rolled, then the next innings. And speaking to Rahul Dravid after the game, he said that they were able to manage that so well because they knew they only had to get 96. But he also said if the shoe was on the other foot, it could have been a different story.
Thank you very much. We'll go ahead. Thank you.
Thanks.